our fifth installment.
I think so.
That sounds about right. Our fifth live installment. Today, as promised, we're going to make some arches. I'm going to do two for you guys. In fact, let me grab my sheet. See, even though I'm a grown adult, one of the cool things about being in this industry is I still get to draw pictures. And what I have here is a half moon, which is 33 3/4 from tip to tip, 15 5/8 dead center, 13 1/4 on the quarter. That's kind of irrelevant to have, but it doesn't hurt just in case, because our rollers make a perfect circle every time. It doesn't create any oblongness or whatever the right word is. And also I'm going to do this kind of arch, which is 71 wide. It has a leg of 26, and then the hip is 35 1/4 dead center. And as you can see, we didn't add that secondary measurement here because, again, it's really not needed, but it's still encouraged if you feel like you need to do it. Now, with that said, obviously we know that saw is allowed. And we'll go over that in a minute. But with that said, what I did is I created a 26-inch tall leg with a mitered corner with the 71 in width. But as you can see, I did not create any kind of corner at the top. And the reason is because this is an arch. So when you see me bend my arch and I trim it, it'll click up over the top of this and we'll rivet it. And it'll be nice and gorgeous. There's no reason for an angle cut there. So again, I did a 26 there, and then I did just the opposite as far as that 45 is concerned to make sure that I have my 26 leg there. Sounds good?
Sounds good.
And I also, for that half moon that I showed you here, is 33 3/4 from tip to tip. And again, there's no angles needed because once that perfect circle comes down, in fact, I have an example up here on this side. It would be kind of ironic if this is exactly 33 3/4.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's too tall. But that's okay. I accidentally made an extra one several weeks ago, so I had this. But as you can see, this is a straight edge where all we're doing is notching away and then using a rivet on the back side so that when you install this on your home or your customer's home, you have this nice clean look on both sides. No rivets, no holes, no trouble. You guys have always heard me preach about our rivets. They work, they're awesome, but in a sense they are cheap. It's cheap metal and they will rust. And that's the reason why when I build for my customers here in Houston, including the folks that we ship to all over the country, I always rivet it from behind because I want to make sure 15, 20 years from now, you're still just so proud of that product that you put up on your house or had us put up on your house. Let me set this to the side and we'll get started. All right. So as you guys know, even though you can use a plastic or aluminum corner, of course I always try my best to always use an aluminum corner for my customers because I want to make sure that when I give you something, it is perfect. Come down to the other side and I'll do the same thing. There wasn't very hard to put on. I like that. So, now, something that could happen. I'm going to set this over here so I don't boo-boo it. As you start rolling your arch, these legs are just kind of out. So chances are they're going to bow in. The smartest thing you're going to be able to do is get yourself a crossbar. You've heard me preach about this a million times. We use a true 1-inch frame. Nothing smaller, nothing larger as far as width. So I cut a 69-inch crossbar. Just to verify that is nice and snug. And what I do is put about an inch or two from the top. And this makes sure that as we're working, we don't taper in our legs, or as Oz would say, I talked about last week, making it wonky. So our legs are dead straight, perfect, not pulled in because we didn't use a crossbar. So I'm going to slide this down a little bit towards you, my love. I'm going to get my handy dandy. No. Tape measure. Been watching too much Blue's Clues, haven't we, with our granddaughter? She likes her Blue's Clues. I think all of our kids ended up at some point, didn't they? Oh my gosh, and now the next generation. How beautiful is that? So I've got my beautiful tape measure. You can measure dead center to make sure. I just kind of eyeball it. You choose, and I realize eyeballing it doesn't make it perfect, but it'll be perfect anyway. So, all right. So, how do we do the math, if you will, for, I'm gonna flip this back around one, to like for instance, a 34 3/4 wide with a 15 5/8 hip, if you will, or at the top. The easiest form of math is just to double this, so 66. Of course, you can let go of the 3/4. So cut yourself a piece 66 inches, and this will make sure you have plenty. You probably get a couple inches less, but it doesn't hurt to make sure you have plenty, because otherwise you'll just have a lot of bent scrap and nowhere to stick it. Same thing here, except unlike a half moon, which needed double, this here, I think of that good old high school pi 3.14, which of course we use for circles, but I just use half that measurement. So 71, I'll add 26, I'll make it 2 more feet, so this will actually become an 8-foot piece of metal, to make sure that my 6 foot, or 71, I have a perfect amount of extra to trim off, and it's not too short. I've already cut it. Got a beautiful 8-foot piece. Actually, this is just a touch more of that because it was left over from another frame, which is why there's an edge cut. And when it comes to using benders, you guys have seen this in the past as well. We're going to use this channel or this product in the spline line so that as we're rolling it, it doesn't crush it. Because obviously if we crush that spline line, let's see if I can get you close there, love. If we crush that spline line, obviously you won't be able to put your screen in. So this here will come with your roller when you buy it. I've bought, gosh, dozens of these over the last decade or so, haven't we? We use them as long as we can. Eventually they start breaking down, but we do try our best. So with that, I just take my thumb, sometimes my roller if it's a tight track, just work my way down. And I'm going to stick it into my bender. Woo! So like do some WD cords on that bad boy. There we go. And that's all I'm going to do. So as you can see, it's just getting a slight bend. We're not putting much pressure. Do not want to break, bend, or create ripples in our beautiful frame. This wine line was a little tight on this. You guys have heard me preach about bug strings that I was building. Unfortunately, the ones that had the plunger bolts, I had it delivered this morning. So the one I spoke about in our video last week, I had it delivered to the hardware store. We do a best out there. So I don't have those, so I was going to use those as an example. But when we get those out of the way, that's for another guy. You guys have heard me preach half a turn. Probably get away with more, and I have from time to time. It just depends on workload. But doing half a turn will ensure that you don't accidentally crush it and create any ripples or bends or anything else. And that was just 3 bends, and this is already starting to look really nice and curved. So we're going to go to 35 1/4. Put it up on my edges. And right now we're at 33 3/4. So at least one more bend and we'll see what happens. And here's where you just take your time when you're making your arches. There's no rush, because if you bend it too much, you can stretch it back out a little bit, but most likely you're going to have a spot where it's not as perfect. And we've run into that a time or two. So it's better to just do a little bit at a time and spend that extra, maybe 1 or 2 roll throughs just to make sure you don't overbend it. That way you have a gorgeous, perfect arch every time. Low bridge up. Stretch that out just a smidge more. I forgot I had that roll of material up there. So, we do see that material. There we go. I just want to make sure. Oh, no, it's perfect. I was needing to move that a little bit. All right. Let's see where we're at. And look what I did. I went just a little bit more than I was supposed to. So here's where you guys are going to see me get a little practice. This does take practice, but we'll just get a little bit of wedging out. Just a little bit. Just to kind of straighten that out, because I did pass that 35 1/4 mark that I wanted to have. And I'm still at a little bit over it. I'm going to go ahead and straighten that out a little bit. I had 1.5 inches left to do, and that was just a half turn. Boy, that took off on me. Maybe I should have a 1/4 turn. So just a smidge more. You never know what's going to happen. Ain't that right, bud?
That's right.
All right. Hey, you know what I forgot to talk about? Guys, I feel really, really blessed. Two companies I get to talk about today. First off, 32 Below. They're right here in Galveston County. AC and me, Steve and
Stephanie.
Okay, sorry about that. I should have wrote that down. Steve and Stephanie, husband and wife team, just like my baby and I. Absolutely phenomenally honest. I just love this guy. We met him 2 seasons ago when he did our new unit because it's 100 degrees every day here in Houston, and when our AC went out, luckily he was ready to rock. But 32 Below is bringing this to you guys today. And then a military doctor that I know so well, Dr. John, who's been so good to my family and I, KT Wellness in Dickinson. And we did have one in Pasadena. I'm not sure if that one's still there or not, or if he moved on from that. KT Wellness, Dickinson, Texas. Think about them. 32 Below. Jump on our Facebook, as well as on this YouTube. There's a static photo as we're currently in a promotion with him, giving out free AC inspections, not home inspections. That's something we're gifting to all of our customers until I hit 100. I think we're up to 4 because we just started it literally last night, because we just created it. So we just kind of started. So we've already knocked out 4 of those. What a blessing! So guys, think of those. 32 Below. One day, I promise, I'll learn how to create edits where I can go ting, and then his thing will show up, and then I can ting, and then those things will show up. So, all right. Well, so sorry to take you away from this beautiful artwork. This is beautiful. All right. Get this tape measure out of the way. What I'm going to do now is just use my trusty marker. Do I get a close-up on that? And what I do is I come right to the edge, and I just pretty much draw a straight line. And the same here, but here, because what I'm going to do is technically, even though I don't need to draw, I'm going to do it anyway just for video. I'm going to cut this part off and that part off so that this will hug it. I'm going to come down here and do the same thing. And again, just because we're on video, you're going to see me put an X. That goes into the recycle bucket, or is that also known as the taco bucket? And that's that. Trusty porter cable bandsaw, which I don't understand. Bandsaws were huge when you and I were in high school, so we had them in our shop class. They were everywhere.
Yeah.
And they're getting hard to find. You almost have to call, you almost have to use those online places, which I'm not going to say any of their names.
No.
But, so forgive me, this will be a quick screech. You ready? All those markers are kind of intimidating. I know when he did that for this video, I love it. Seeing all those lines, like that, what is it? Beautiful. So let's just see how she fits. Now come on down here. And again, folks, this is how we're going to do our arch. We're going to take it and just tuck it in. Make sure it's nice and tight. She looks beautiful. Now with the proper width, just make sure it's still 32 and a quarter. I'm sorry, 32 and a quarter, 35 and a quarter. Easy enough. Now, I need to change this big blade because I was doing those plunger bolts this morning, and they require a fatter drill bit. So of course, the rivets are, what did we say last week? 3/16. That's what the rivets are for us on the drill bit. Look at that, Milwaukee got a free see and tell, show and tell, whatever the right word is. Is it show and tell?
Show and tell.
Oh my gosh, that's like grade school, wasn't it? When we had to bring something cute. Yeah. Oh my. Make sure that's nice and snug. I'm gonna grab that camera from my beautiful bride so we can step back and sneak a peek at this. And our daughter's knocking on the back door while we're live today. So nice hairdo. I like that. So. Well, might as well say hi. Hi. The whole world just saw you, girl. Look at that. She got a fancy hairdo today. I love it. That's our youngest daughter, Rachel. But anyway, so that's how we create this arch. And all right, now let me shut that back down. We're gonna keep our AC in here. Isn't that the fun when you go live?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna set this to the side because I want to do a half moon for you guys as well. And then we'll roll. Now again, the half moon is 33 3/4. Who can answer the trivia question? How long of a stick should I do? That's right, ×2! Woohoo! You can write that down in a handy dandy notebook. Look at another Blues Clues pun. But I have to cut this part. Actually, I think I already have one. Grab another one. And remember, it's 33, so 66. I'm just going to make it 60, 5 foot. Quick squeeze. Beautiful. Oh. We had a commercial or something like Captain Arr. Oh, but that's out. Yeah, never mind. I shouldn't have done that. Let's talk about that. Got these things. Wow, that was tight. So, when you do have a tight channel, folks, just grab your roller. Rub it in. Here we go. Easy peasy. Spin that around a few times. Alrighty. Well, today is Tuesday. And we always called that Taco Tuesday. Of course, your local radio station calls it Two for Tuesday. Doesn't that sound about right? Mm-hmm. And I'm just filling in time here while I roll this so that nobody yawns and hangs up. Oh, I love it. I gotta trust everyone's enjoying your week so far. I know it's still early in the week, but hey. Tomorrow, halfway through, I guess, that hump day. Oh my. Where do I go tomorrow? I forgot. All over the place. Now I'm going to make a secondary video about something I'm getting ready to talk about. That way it's more prominent up front. But I had a question the other day. I forgot how you wrote it. What keeps you popular or well known? And it's funny because my wife and I are also farmers or market farmers. We grow a big garden, and of course we're local. And then of course we eat all weekend, like fried okra last night. Oh man, that was good stuff. My baby, she's holding the camera. Last night was her first night using fresh picked okra and frying it in our house. Oh baby. I'm not a big okra guy. I like gumbo, but not fried. It was actually really good. But the reason I brought all that up is one of the chefs that I love to watch, Chef Mikey. He's up in Tennessee. I can't remember what town. Nashville, but it's not Nashville. It's the other one. He mentioned his latest video about people recognize him because of his hat and his tank top and his tattoos. Well, I believe in uniformity. I wear pink shoes, jean shorts, and my pink shirt every time. In the freezing cold, in the hot of summer, in the flood waters, it doesn't matter. This is how I dress. So my wife and I, when years ago we would work together, and like for instance, we go to Chili's, folks recognize us. Hey, it's the king and queen. And I mean, we're literally taking a nap in our booth while the food's coming. We'd always tell our waiter or waitress, just take your time, we're going to catch up on some sleep because in that 100-degree day, and of course she's smiling in the background, it was hot. But it was all about uniformity. So people recognize me, or recognize us even when we're together, but they recognize me when I'm out because I'm the guy in pink. Got my soldier kneeling before the cross with the flag in the background, the name on the back, the pink shoes. Best case in point, a store that a lot of you guys know. It's that big convenience store. You call it a space station because it's so stinking large. But I won't use their name, but it's the place that has 900 fuel pumps and 400 toilets. And I'm sure everyone's up. I know Mom up in Michigan is going, oh, I know that place. Because apparently that's fun for them up in Michigan to go on tour just to go to all those convenience stores. But there was a traffic jam. I was low on gas. I thought, well, let me just go ahead and pull up into that store. So I thought while I was there, I would run in and use the restroom. No big deal. But on my way in, I hear, King! It's a guy I've done plenty of houses for. And on my way out, King! It's the guy that you guys met this last winter who replaced our back fence. I stand out in the crowd. I love that. So think about that when you decide to start doing this in your community. Stand out. Be the one that's different. So, I'm not suggesting you wear pink shirts and pink shoes, but be the one who stands out different. And I promise you, you will be blessed. And your family, your community will fall in love with you the way you approach it because you stand out. And I love it. So enough of that, but we're going to do a video just about uniformity and why it is as we're starting more and more franchises now. Hallelujah to that. Folks, if you want a franchise, kingofsodarscreens@gmail. I'll send you all the info you need. But we noticed that there's other companies, and I did reach out to a blinds company here in Houston who we've done some solar screens for their home, but they didn't give me the permission to use their name, but they're a national name. But they all look the same. It doesn't matter if you're on the West Coast, East Coast, North, South, they're all the same. So it's perfect. I love it. Love it. So stand out. Stand out and do it better than everyone else. And treat everyone with love and respect. And unless they're rude, then be mean to them. Or if they're cooking you breakfast, then you want to really be nice to them, because then they're going to burn your eggs. Nobody wants to burn eggs. Nobody wants to go to Applebee's alone, right? Okay, so this needs about a quarter more time. All right. Because we're going to 15 and 5/8 on our half. Oops, center that bad boy. Come on. I'm thinking like a smidge turn. Like maybe that much. And then we're going to be perfect, folks. I love that. This is how we do beautiful, 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 beautiful arches. 15 and 5/8. So you can see that it's going to be a nice tight joint. I realize on the camera this side is the same way. Now you guys saw me earlier with that big tapered arch. Same idea here. I'm just going to mark the bottom and then do the same here. But this time I'm not going to add all that extra. You guys caught the point the first time. And it was confusing when I went to cut it. I had to think about that. Well, this is a long stretch. Boom. There we go. I love it. Saw it get turned on. All right. So the same idea, guys. We're just going to cut off our extra couple of inches, put that in the taco bucket, trim that off, and cut it off. I know on my first arch I told you there's nothing you need to do here, but I noticed when I had that bin there, I could see a smidge of the exterior of this, and to prevent that from being bulky, I'm just going to trim off the edge. Just like that. So it didn't take away from anything, I just kind of trimmed that away so it wouldn't push out my arch, thus making it not a perfect half circle. Oh, wow. I love it. That's 2 in a row. I did a great job. 15 and 5/8. Right on the money, baby. Come on. All right. 2 more of those rivets. Again, I like to put it on the spline side so that in 5-6 years when they start to rust, you do not have to see them. But when I tell you they all rust, it's just because it's a cheap metal, but it doesn't mean it's letting go. It always still holds on. It just kind of, it loses its cosmetic beauty, so it becomes cosmetically challenged. All right, what did we end up doing? 15 and 5/8. Crossbar. I guess I should have had one ready already. 15 and 5/8. That was easy enough. So, folks, we always want to make sure that we add our crossbar. Mainly because if I don't add that tension bar, chances are I'm going to create a frown face where that pulled up a little too tight from the bottom. With that said, my beautiful roller twitched a little while ago. You can see where they put two seams together.
Mm-hmm.
So I have this little short piece. That is perfect for this. And I'm going to let you guys see me make the small one, and then I'm going to cut you loose because I don't want to keep you guys here too late. I know it's Tuesday, everyone's tired. 4th of July just happened. We're still recuperating. Our grandkids drove us all over the place. My gosh. Well, I mean, they didn't drive us. We were just having a lot of fun. They didn't drive us crazy. They just made us become teenagers again. Is that a good one? I like
Say
it.
that.
I love watching you smile.
Yeah.
I love it. And guys, my wife's got a gorgeous smile. I love watching her smile. All right. So, got my straight edge. As you hear me preach all the time, if you start with a straight edge, you won't have any material active monkey. Now, I'm always a righty, so I start off to my left, and I pull out like this as I go up to prevent any rolling or soft spots, bubbles. Wow, that looks perfect. Man, that can only happen once a week right there. Look at that. And I did it while we were live. Same thing as you guys saw me do on the last Thursday's video, where I trimmed the edges. Perfect half moon. I love it. Those Archers, Screen Co. is my favorite place to get them, which was also known as QualityScreens.com. I won't use the name, but there's a place on the West Coast. Don't waste your time. Believe me, we ordered 3 of them, and I couldn't wait to get them back because they were trash.
Mm-hmm.
And they had the audacity to say it was me. I didn't know what I was doing, or all my guys. Excuse me? Oh, you must be using cheap imported metal. Nope, not that either. Just didn't do a very good job building them. So, Quality Screens, that place up in Denver. MetroScreenWorks.com is also fantastic. The place I talked about in Arizona, I was corrected. I think it's called Phoenix Sun Products or Sun Products. I think that was it. But you guys will find that if you're out there. I do not sell those, so sorry. I only sell screens. But I do buy them. Gosh, those things will last forever. I mean, that's the first one we ever bought.
Mm-hmm.
And we're literally 2 decades into this now. So just keeping it out of the traffic. Listen to me. That was me earlier. I was stuck in some traffic, all that rain that was falling. Keeping it out of the weather and just, keeping it clean. I service it twice a year. I grease all the joints, make sure the wheels are clean. And it'll give you a lifetime of fantastic arching. I won't bore you while I do the big one, but just trust it'll be done because we're going to actually install these tomorrow in the city of Pearland. This one, that big one. In fact, the rest of the order is right behind this bronze frame order that I still have to finish. And my beautiful bride's cooking pizza night. Folks, that was it. Now, Thursday, as you heard me earlier, we're going to have Steve with 32 Below. He's going to come by Thursday at 5 o'clock. So we're going to do a live shot at our air conditioners. And he's going to show us, as homeowners, a little bit of maintenance that we can do to ensure our ACs are running top-notch. Obviously, when you put a solar screen up, you are just murdering the sun's heat and UVs. It is just changing your whole lifestyle. But why not make sure your AC is also running at its top performance? Because, you know, one thing to knock 20-30% off your electric bill of that, if your AC is not working right, you get it fixed, I bet you knock more like half off. But don't hold me to that, because I would love to knock off half of our electric bill right now. So if there's any questions,
Not right now.
wow, this has been a great one. Guys, I hope I touched on everything correctly. If I didn't, you know my email, kingofsolarscreens@gmail, my screen kit at Gmail, kingofsolarscreens.com, myscreenkit.net. I'm always here 24, well, you can send me a message 24/7, but I'll see it at 6 a.m. and not after 7 p.m. because, you know, that's cutoff time. I shut the phone off and I throw it in the trash. I mean, I put it on the charger. That's it. Thanks once again, guys, for following along and giving me the opportunity. Remember, our school here is always 100% free, Monday, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, 3 days. You're on your own after that. I love to teach. I will give you anything and everything I can to make this something that you can do for your home, your family, your community, part-time, full-time. Sky's the limit. You guys be blessed. We'll see you next week. No, we'll see you Thursday.